Alex, tell me a little bit about what inspired Food Fund.
I mean, really, it kind of was born out of idea about working with One Spark throughout the year. You know, One Spark is a great kind of one-time event, but if it's just a flash in the pan one time, you know, a year and that's it, you know, it's not going to be as successful as it could. So I think we all have a responsibility to kind of keep that spark alive throughout the year. And so I wanted to do something that would fund, you know, business startups in the urban core throughout the year, once a quarter. You know, after the One Spark kind of madness is over with, still have something to kind of help fund entrepreneurs going forward.
And what kind of crowd have you been seeing for past events and generally on average so far?
We get about 500 people that come out, and we usually do it on an off night, like a Tuesday night, so it's, you know, not competing with everybody else. But I mean, the formula is pretty easy. It's, you know, beer, there's food, there's music, kind of like a mini, really small scale One Spark.
But can't lose.
Exactly, right, yeah.
And what kind of projects have you guys been seeing so far?
We've had some really cool creators. Vagabond Coffee, which is outside of Hemming Park right now. The first person that won Food Fund, and they've been doing really great all week long, and really been a great part of Hemming Park and the revitalization there. We've had Renaissance Jaxon, something I'm really fond of. They wanted to bring robotics programs to high schools around Duval County, and who doesn't love, you know, freaking robots, man? I mean, it's awesome. You know? So it's been a lot of fun. It's really cool to see like the great creative ideas and the people that are really motivated and hustle every day to make things better.
And what's going on in the future for Food Fund? What plans you guys going on for the rest of the year?
So like now that One Spark's going to be over with, we're going to ramp up and do more events throughout the year. I've really spent One Spark kind of walking around, talking to creators that would be interested in doing future events with us, and really give them an avenue to kind of maybe gain some extra funding.
And what exactly is, so there's an admission fee, correct?
Correct.
And then all of the admission plus some grant money goes to the top creator, right? Or the top entrepreneur at the event?
Right, so it's kind of a take on something they did with Detroit called Detroit Soup. And there they basically do a potluck meal, you pay, you know, $5 or whatever, and then you get usually soup with bread. This is a little bit different, so we charge an admission fee. We usually have food trucks out there that you can go buy from. We have craft beer garden. And then all of admission costs is a nominal fee to get in. And all the admission costs and then a matching grant from our event sponsor will then go to the winning vote. So it's kind of, everybody votes on who they want, and the winning vote, or the winning vote getter gets all of the admission fees plus that matching grant. And it's really cool because there's a lot of projects that I think I would like, you know, but it's interesting to what wins and what doesn't win. But that's the kind of beauty of the crowdsourcing is, you know, I mean, the most amount of people are going to give the most utility out of opening this kind of business downtown. That's what makes it work.
Awesome, awesome. Now, something that's interesting, I think, about Food Fund is that you are doing food trucks. Do you think that food trucks kind of identify with the entrepreneurial spirit as well as with the projects that are being featured?
Yeah, absolutely. There's a certain coolness factor to it. You know, like you know, you realize that the people that are doing food trucks are really just grinding and hustling every day. You know, they're very scrappy. They're trying to make it just like, you know, the presenters are as well. So I think it adds an extra kind of cool factor to it, and it draws the kind of crowd in that really want to, you know, fund an entrepreneur. If I had told my dad about it, he'd be like, well, I don't understand. I don't know what's going on. But then I say, hey, there's gonna be food trucks and beer. Like, oh man, I'm in. You know, so it adds that coolness.
And there's 4 entrepreneurs per event, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Any sign of that changing, or is 4 the magic number?
I think 4 is pretty good because you know, with One Spark, which is great, you know, it's really hard to kind of talk to people on an individual basis. Like, there's so much stimulus going on. There's so much to do. There's street performers everywhere. With, you know, 4 people that's, you know, surrounded by a couple hundred people, it's nice because you really have time to really talk to somebody one-on-one, and you're not having some guy with a flamethrower behind you and distracting you, you know. So I think that really works really well, and it's amazing. We've had a few people that have presented that have made connections, you know, at the event, and really kind of partnered up with other people as well. So that's really what it's all about, is that collaboration. I'm kind of fortunate now in my line of work, I travel a lot to cities to do economic development deals, and that's the kind of like the kind of catalyst, or the kind of like consistent factor upon cities that get stuff done all the time and cities that kind of just lag behind, is there's that sense of collaboration between all parties involved. You may not always agree on things, but everybody's working towards that same vision. So, you know, the kind of the events like this really kind of tie our city together and say, hey, you know what, we have a really cool place. Jaxon could be this center of innovation, center of entrepreneurism, but we all have to get on the same page. We all have to support each other, and that's really what makes these events work.
And do you think that maybe the center of Food Fun is building Jaxon into this kind of haven of entrepreneurship?
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. And like I said, it's, you know, I started a business once, it didn't go very well, but, you know, throughout that, the people you meet along the way, it's amazing the kind of connections you make, and like startup businesses, or, you know, that high failure, you know, it's tough to make it, but it's a learning process, and I think Jaxon right now is going through this learning process too. You know, One Spark is great. You know, we're trying to figure out what it means to be kind of an entrepreneurial city, and we're not going to get it right up front. You know, it's going to be some growing pains, but you know, working with everybody, getting to everybody on the same page. You know, I think we're moving in the right direction.